Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Your health is our legacy. To discover more, visit tghealthsystem.com.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are talking about various things that are going on. And with an impending storm, which will be in the Gulf and all eyes, remember, do not take your eyes off this storm. I know everybody's getting excited. They're hearing good news for this area, not so good news for the Florida area. But one thing we've learned in covering these storms for years and years and years, do not get complacent. Joining us now, the mayor of Thibodaux, Mr. Clement. Mayor, how are you today, sir?
Good afternoon, Martin. We're doing fine. Trying to get back to normal as best as we can.
Yep, no doubt. Now, a few things we could talk about. Of course, y'all had a big food drive the other day with Rouse's, and Thibodaux Family Church hosted it. Diocese was involved. A lot of people, Second Harvest, a lot of people. And I know y'all were involved because y'all were trying to orchestrate different things, and it would have been a nightmare parking downtown, no doubt. Y'all made a good move moving it to the outskirts, because I don't know where you'd fit all those cars.
Yeah, Pastor Bland is very, very receptive when it comes to stuff like that. And look, it takes a lot of coordination between our police department and our city folks. So I guess the only thing I would ask is that if organizers such as Second Harvest or Rouse's or the Catholic Charities, if they would just notify us that and give us the specifics, the dates and the times and the locations, it makes it easier for everybody. And then we can kind of administer it a little bit better than just popping up on the day. And this one wasn't done that way. They gave us plenty of forward thinking, knowledge to know when it was happening. But it helps out if we know about it. That way we can plan for it.
Yeah, and that way you got to know what's happening in your city, and they did such a great job with that. Let's talk about with that storm going over Thibodaux, a lot of, things, nuisance kind of things that still linger. Debris pickup. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, we actually have a contract with Cirrus. It's for emergency situations such as this. We enacted that last Wednesday. At 7 o'clock this morning, they were on site picking up different zones within our city of Thibodaux. We have 5 different zones within the city of Thibodaux. They were actually, they have 3 vehicles with large booms that are operating in 3 different zones today. Before anybody calls our office, we are not in control of the zones. They do it by volume. They have their system in place. But we started that this morning. They're telling us 14 working days. They'll be completely done throughout our city. I think it's going to be less than that because they already are under contract with the folks in Florida. And you mentioned this next storm. So it's in their best interest, and then they're going to make a little bit just as much more money if they can get our debris pickup and vegetation as fast as we can, and then they can move on to Florida if and when it's needed. Pray for Florida,
and a lot of people, I'm sure you're one of them, when I'm talking to people, they go, Mark, we've been so busy. I'm sorry, we can't get to you. We got about 500 people on the list, and I always make a point, put me on top of the list. Everybody wants to be on top of the list, right?
Yeah, I guess we just ask our residents to just be patient. We're going to get to you.
Yeah.
We did say that they're going to make one pass throughout the city and one pass only. That's kind of a stretch. There are going to be hot spots in the city that they can't get. They're going to have to go. So you definitely can call our public works department or call our office. We'll handle it. You might get bumped down to the middle or end of that list if they've already made a pass through your streets, through your neighborhoods. Just be patient. Some of these trees that got knocked down are very, very large trees. And some of this debris that is by the road, it takes a little while to get everything. But Ceres, they did this for Ida. This is what they do. They know, they know how to get it done as fast and as timely and efficient as possible. So look, it takes a lot to set up a dump site, to get DEQ involved, to okay it, to clear out a dump site. We did all that prep work last week. Today they started picking up, so hopefully it's a smooth transition. Hopefully we don't have any more bad weather during this time. Don't wish any bad things on Florida, but let's take care of Louisiana, Thibodaux, Houma first.
And I've been able, fortunately, to talk to a lot of people over the years in the span of my career, and everybody learns different lessons. You've been around for a long time in different factions of government and civic-minded duties, but what do you learn when these storms come through? What has Kevin Clement learned?
I learned to be prepared for the unexpected. So what we did after Ida, we kind of made it up as we were going along, but we did an excellent job. We didn't have to reinvent the wheel when Francine came. When we met on Monday, we had a game plan at least. We were able to give our administration and our staff and our city workers just a little bit better. We were just better prepared for it. We knew the functions and we knew what we should have been responsible for and what we were going to be responsible for. So we're going to do the same thing for every storm that happens, right? We're going to prepare for the worst. We're going to hope for the best. And in Francine's case, we prepared for the worst and we thought it wasn't going to be as bad as it was. So good thing we prepared for the worst, treated it as the serious of serious storms. And then, we adjusted on the fly. There's always going to be adjustments. There's always going to be changes. There are always going to be things that pop up like this one. Francine had more water than what we expected. So there's a whole nother set of issues and challenges that you're faced with when it comes to everything like that. So we prepared. That's all I can tell you. We have a game plan. We have an emergency ops plan. We have an emergency operations director who did a fantastic job. Carl Crescione stayed on top of it from probably 3 or 4 days before that hurricane hit and all the way up to last Saturday when we actually shut down our emergency operations center. We were 24/7 manned. We were on top of our issues. We had great communication in-house, in our staff, and we had also great communication with the parish of Lafourche, parish of Terrebonne. We were even in communication with them, the state of Louisiana, sheriff's office, hospital, fire department. All those people were willing to work together, and we did.
All right, let's do this. We're going to come. Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Let's talk about natural gas issues, if y'all had any. I know they're sort of common in different municipalities when everybody now seems to have a generator. We'll talk about staying vigilant for the next one. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with the mayor of Thibodaux, Kevin Clement.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
All right, we're back with the mayor of Thibodaux, Kevin Clement, and of course, he's been around for a while in different capacities, but as mayor, he's been dealing with Francine. Mayor, one of the things a lot of people, it seems to be on their mind quite a bit now is the natural gas generators. Some of them starve for capacity. They just, we didn't know years ago that everybody would own a generator. I guess so they're coming up with novel ways to combat that. I was talking with Travis Terrebonne at Gen Gators. He said, well, Martin, we might be going to propane more, and a lot of people are putting diesel generators in. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate. The expansion of all these subdivisions, the expansion of people being able to afford these generators now, it seems like every home, has them. The system, the network it just, maybe it failed, maybe it didn't. There's a whole bunch of issues that go along with this, right? In one section of town, they're serviced by an independent gas contractor that came in, and they came out and they spoke on it, and they said they had systems inherent, problems inherent to their systems. In another section of town, we had generators that had fundamental hookup problems. The main people that put the generators in and actually networked them to their house, there was issues with that. Some of these generators, internal to the generator itself, their network, their system inside there is not as current and as proactive as it should be. They had issues with that. So a whole myriad of problems. I mean, the state came out and said that there's too many generators for the size gas lines that we have. I can tell you this, we are trying to address all these issues. Parish President Archie Chasso and I are communicating with all three of the gas companies, Progressive, Atmos, and South Coast. We're all going to get in a room. There are experts in this field that have been doing this for a long time. We're going to bring them in the room. We're going to see if there's a solution or what is the best solution. It could be, Martin, that each one of these guys have a propane tank on their sides. And if natural gas doesn't work, there's a little switch that you could switch it over. I know Ali Wagaspack with Wagaspack Oil called me 3 or 4 days after the storm. He did that to 3 or 4 people during the middle of the storm. Mm-hmm. He went out with these 50-gallon propane tanks. He switched over their natural gas generator and they ran smooth. And that's an option. I know not everybody can afford that after you spend $10,000 or $12,000 for a Generac generator, but hopefully we'll come up with a solution that can solve all of these issues. And because if you're waiting on the infrastructure of 3-inch pipes to be changed to 4 or 6-inch pipes, you're going to be waiting a while. Those aren't just quick fixes, you know?
Yeah, it's not a quick fix, and it's a very tough situation for you guys that, first of all, got to pay for it and got to do
True.
everything and make it happen. But it's good to know that we have alternatives. And in talking to Travis Terrebonne at Gen Gators several times, and I was going, God, all these people whose generator just crapped out on them and they paid all this money. He said, we have an alternative. And although the alternative is going to cost a little bit, at least sometimes it's good to know that you do have an alternative.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, I know Travis Terrebonne, he's a great guy, and he's going to work hard to try to figure out these solutions. And so will the other players, players in this. We're trying to bring them all to the table and come up with the best solution. And if, like, once again, I don't want to spend the money to just fundamentally change an entire network of pipes underground. If we have to, we certainly will. But then, that comes a whole bunch of other challenges. Which area do you do first? Who gets priority? You have to work through all those issues. And hopefully Archie and I can sit down and come up with a game plan and figure out what's best for the parish-wide as well as for the residents of Thibodaux.
Well, we live in South Louisiana. We know what propane is, crawfish and crabs and shrimp.
Right.
So put the propane or the generator right next to your boiling pot, and you got everything you need right there. Real quick, we got about 60 seconds left. Don't get complacent on this storm in the Gulf now.
You have to prepare, right? So we'll ask all the residents, clean out the drains by your house. We have a 2-person crew. That's all they do in the city of Thibodaux. They go out and they have specific neighborhoods and streets that they do. We're going to double up and triple up on those efforts if that storm comes to us. Stay vigilant. Watch the news. Watch HTV. When the winds went down, I was able to catch Martin False on HTV, and I know you and I spoke 2 or 3 times during that night. But it's very comforting to know that there's somebody out there doing the work that you do. And look, I certainly appreciate it, and I know the residents of Houma, Thibodaux, and all the parishes appreciate you too.
Well, thank you, Mayor. We appreciate it. We appreciate y'all coming on and being transparent with the people, because information does, in fact, calm a lot of people down. And we're going to stay in touch with you. We're going to watch this storm, and hopefully we just get a few gusts here in the area. We all need a break, and we don't need another bad one coming up the pipe. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Martin. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Once again, the Mayor of Thibodaux, Kevin Clement. We'll take a break. We have a lot more. Don't go away.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.